about how information technology can be applied to the deployment of the halal standards as they've been developed. So, the reasons for deploying the IT is to speed up the adoption of halal practice and to support the halal certification process. So there's a challenge for two sides of the fence here. One is for the private companies, the producers and handlers. The other is for the certification bodies or the other layers of accreditation. So for the producers and handlers, it's to understand those requirements. 10 standards agreed they're going to be specialized for the different audiences, but there are a lot of new concepts that people may have to deal with they haven't handled before. And those have to be communicated effectively to staff, to ensure consistent application of those standards, and then manage the record keeping, because in common with all other good practice standards, there's a lot of paperwork involved for consistency and proper records. And report that status to interested parties and to support the certification process they go through as companies. Aside of the certification bodies, it's how to get companies to start utilising these standards, communicating what's inside them, provide a support so there's a rapid adoption, ensure that companies that are being certified are truly compliant. Of course, to operate an efficient process themselves, including an efficient audit. We have some tools, Yakin has some tools for these processes. In terms of halal assessed, I'm going to talk specifically about the halal logistics because that is the draft standard we now have. But of course, all the other 10 standards will be covered equally. And also that's supported by a verification module, halal verified, for the managing the auditing process to do with operational tools for traceability and good practice operation, halal assured. The principle here of the halal logistics assured is to incorporate this draft standard as has already been implemented and to help those companies, as I said before, understand their requirements, organize their documents so that they can go for certification, have a full audit trail of what they've done. It allows management itself to check that they're being compliant, because depending on the size of the organisation you may not know what's really going on in the organisation, or auditors check on that, and then utilising the reports for communicating to your customers or your public to prove the standard. So briefly to explain a little bit of detail about what this means, it means that a company goes first of all through a self-assessment process. They're utilising the template, which is the draft logistics standard. And that has every point of the standard already inside the system. And each point has its own set of guidance, detailed requirements, so that the process of self-assessment is the learning process that they go through to understand what they've got to do. They don't probably do this in one day. They start the process, discover what their weaknesses are, realize what the next stage they have to go. Once they've done that, they fill in their paperwork to show that. Covering at the same time all the reference documents they use, the internal procedures, they're taking photographs of the sites where they do halal compliant processes or handling. Those can also be attached to. For each point in the standard, they enter their compliance level. Then at any point they can go back and they can review and see how far they've got along in this compliance procedure. They can check a summary which can give them the compliance, how many points are covered and how many are not. So then that proceeds to a report. The report is including photographs to show the operations, logistics, if it's a transport or warehouse or terminal, and full details for every point in the standard. In graphical analysis of their compliance level as well, including details by section inside the report. So that is then complemented by a tool not used by the companies but used by auditors, well verified. The auditors can come on site with their laptops or computing devices in order to check against the information logged and to keep records and to manage a team of several auditors perhaps if they're going to a large site. It produces its own set of reports which are utilised by the certification. So the first step is to be agreed on the standards, and we're well along now in defining the standards, and there's logistics standards just been done. And then implementing is the educational process, providing help to those companies to do it, utilising information technology tools, that communication and active guidance going through the process. And that produces organised information, fundamental basis for any standard. Our goal here is to speed up the process of new halal standard adoption and ensure consistent and balance. Thank you very much.
Could I invite, just introduce Mr. Hassan.